All right, well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Americana, Babylon Syndrome. This is chapter 2, The Stealers of Souls. So I hope we're all strapped in. I will remind everyone before we begin that the X card is always available, as are on-demand veils if the need should arise, although based on last chapter, maybe not. But just so you know, it is that is there for your use if you need it. In just a second, well, I will launch into the intro any second now. Before we begin though, is there any kind of quick questions or admin issues or things that you want to mention before we begin?
I think I just want to make sure that my character sheet is correct. Like, do my numbers look correct? Is it all fine?
Where are we? Well, you see, you're asking the wrong person in a way. This is the first time I've run this, but let's see. So, well, your aptitudes definitely add up to the right amount.
Okay, good.
But you have not. You appear to have only spent 5 points out of your available specialty points so far, which is okay. You can spend those as you go along. I'm okay with that.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, no worries. Yeah, otherwise I think no problem at all.
Do we need a point in, like a specialty point in contact if we added a contact to our list?
No, that's the contacts work a bit differently. If you hover over there, you'll see you get to, you can say what their rating is. So if they're an amazing expert, they should have a rating of 3 in whatever their specialty is. They're always assumed to have an aptitude of 4. But yeah, you should say that they are between 1 and 3 when you name them. That's if they're under the contact bit. But of course, you can always have people you know who don't have that mechanical thing where you call on their skill. But if you want to use them as a backup skill reservoir, which you can do once per session, then yeah, you should at least give them maybe a broad description. You can figure out, like, I don't know, maybe a hotel concierge somewhere fancy, and we'll figure out later what their name is, that kind of thing. You can put that in a category if you want, and spend the points.
Yeah, I just put somebody in there, like, somebody I know, and it's like for jobs.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you can choose like an actual specialty, like first aid or the knowledge specialty, contacts or news, that kind of thing. Okay. If you want to as well. I will define that as it comes up if needed. Okay, cool. Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Allow me to. I'm sorry that I have to break eye contact from the camera so often, but I am just reading from the book sometimes, and I'm afraid I have to do that more than I normally do. So here we go. Several months have passed since you confronted the Samaelites out in the Colorado desert. Depending on your character's personalities, you may have become close, or perhaps not exchanged a single word in the intervening time. I guess we'll find that out fairly soon. It's up to you to decide about that. And your reddish-eyed contact, Garwin Cobain, has kept a low profile, and the ancients have not spoken to or contacted you since everything that happened, sort of leaving you in the vague hope that maybe this whole thing is all over. You let's see. You may well have done some research into the events that took place, and if you've done so, you'll have seen stories in the news about federal investigations into kidnappings and so on. But nothing seems to have actually cropped up about the Samaelite camp or any of the activities they were up to, or indeed anything you were up to. You sort of have hints and allegations, as Paul Simon put it, but nothing concrete. Let's see. You have, of course, had certain psychological impacts from the events that took place, dreams perhaps, unwelcome memories while awake. Who knows? But now let's turn to quotidian life, and I'd like to go to Noah with Rich. Now,
yeah,
oh, go on, sorry.
Oh, it's just saying I should probably change my name here.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I better change mine too.
But now this scene is about to be interrupted by a phone call. But if this was the opening scene of a a TV show where it's the second episode after some weird stuff happened, what would we see Rich doing? Like, what's his on maybe let's say a Tuesday evening? What's his home life like? Or if he doesn't spend that much time at home, where would he get interrupted while going about his business?
I think he probably is at home. I think that he is probably just like hunched over on his computer or something like that, just sort of mindlessly scrolling.
Interesting. So does anyone, do you live with anyone else or in your apartment?
Yeah, I have a couple of hated roommates.
Let me see. So when you're crashed over the computer, that's in your room, right? Like shutting them out, or well, anyhow, while you're doom scrolling, your phone rings, and it's going Cobain. I don't know if you've put a little picture on his thing on your phone, or if it's just like Cobain, but anyway, it's him, and he says, "Rich, the ancients want you to go back into a business for them. There are a few things that you're going to need to know to get on with the case, the job they need you to do. Go find the goblin at the Koshimara's club. Tell him that nothing is eternal, that everything has an end. He will tell you everything you need to know. Contact the others, tell them the exact same message I just gave you, and then tomorrow, when you wake up, get going." And he hangs up.
Okay.
So who do you call first?
I think what I'll probably do is I'll screenshot that. Oh wait, no, that was a phone call, not
phone
text.
call. Yeah, very weird. Call, he's very old-fashioned. Go on.
Right, right, yeah. I think I'll probably call probably the person I talk to the most, probably Ambrose. I think that probably Rich has not spoken to any of these people since that time.
Okay, so Ambrose, what what gets interrupted at your end?
I am currently I've put on a Peggy Lee record, and I'm just like feeding chunks of beef to my pet cheetah Anubis while I lounge about in my dressing gown. That's it. nothing too pressing.
Just a normal Tuesday.
Normal evening. Tuesday night for me.
Yeah. Anubis. Okay, so phone rings. It's Rich. Go ahead.
Rich Kleitman. I certainly didn't expect to be getting a call from you after, well, the events of recent days, the troubles, shall we say?
Yeah, maybe. Listen, we're. I gotta. Do you remember our contact from the guy that we talked to before, Cobain?
Yes, the lovely Mr. Cobain.
Yeah.
Is he back on the scene, Rich?
Yeah. He called me, and he wants us to do another job. It sounds like, and I relate to him what he told me.
Do we have some sort of union representation in this outfit? That's what I want to know. Nevertheless, I suppose we're all bound together in this horrifying endeavor, and it's impossible for me to refuse. Absolutely impossible. Shall I call the others?
Yeah. If you could do that, that'd be great.
So we're just doing it one last job style, where we all.
Yeah, I was thinking of like a telephone tree for high school parents, but yeah.
Right.
So who do you call next?
I would probably call Arabella next, and I think I have actually seen Arabella a couple of times because Anubis is very fond of pettivores, and so I've taken Anubis down to the pastry shop.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I don't think it's good to feed them things like that, but
No, I imagine it's not at all. But I mean, you know, but Arabella, so you're getting interrupted on a weekday evening. Are you at home, and what does that look like when you're minding your own business?
I'd say that she's at home and she's probably she has some old sitcom on TV that she's just watching in the background, and she's just going through some old cookbooks and maybe drawing out some new ideas for things.
Right.
I will. I have everyone's phone number, so I'll bring up Arabella, and I say, Arabella, this is Ambrose Theroux. You know, the person who comes by occasionally to sample the wares, and also was implicated in the murder of a demon child, I think. It turns out, according to our mutual acquaintance, Mr. Kleitman, that our other mutual acquaintance, Mr. Cobain, has another job for us.
Wasn't one enough? I mean, isn't it a 1-for-1 deal? We did the thing, they got rid of the nightmares. Why are we?
That's what I keep asking myself, Arabella, and I just don't know the answer to these puzzling questions. Nevertheless, it's certainly more interesting than what I had planned for the rest of the day. So,
What a euphemistic way to put it.
Do you want to get in touch with Ms. Frost?
Of course, I'll call her.
All right. Cut to Journey Frost's, well, domicile or what? Tell us about Journey's situation now.
She's trying to get as much sleep as possible, appreciating it, because she's dealt with people like this before, but not people. So she's kind of aware, and she's been actually trying to do behind her normal commission jobs for painting. She's actually made some sketches and some thumbnail paintings of the 7 that they saw, and it's still in the back of her mind that something's going to happen, and she's just waiting for the other shoe to drop. She's just surprised it's been this long, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that the others seem to have been, to a degree, trying to block out the events and act as if everything is normal, and Journey is the exception. Regardless, your phone rings. Wait, what's your ringtone, or is it just on vibrate, like normal people?
No, actually, like it's she's actually assigned, just in case, she's actually assigned each of them like a ringtone to a song. So, like Arabella's is actually one of the lesser noisy, screamy death metal songs that she hears. So it's mild compared to some of the other stuff that she has associated with other people. So,
Right. Okay, Arabella, go ahead.
Journey, I'm so sorry to call. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to assume this is yet another job, because the ancient dudes like didn't feel like, we worked for them enough. One job was not enough.
Well, I mean, who would ever consider one horrible, terrible job enough to pay off a couple of nightmares? But yeah, apparently Kleitman got a call from the dude, and now we have another job, and we set out in the morning.
I guess the next question would be, who's driving?
Excellent question. I do not know.
My license has been revoked several times, so.
Why am I not surprised, Ambrose?
Yeah.
You probably
Also, you
shouldn't be
presumably drive something like a 1932 Studebaker with
Right, exactly.
running boards. And, yeah.
I was featured on the most notorious episode of World's Worst Drivers, so yeah.
Shouldn't be driving on LA streets, damn it.
While you're pondering the driving roster, we will cut to the middle of the night, well, midnight, when you all wake up in your beds or wherever you're sleeping. I don't know, perhaps you've collapsed in a municipal park or something, but we'll assume in your beds. And yeah, even though you are presumably not that close to one another, there's a synchronization to this. You wake in your home, you hear a hissing sound coming from the living room and drift past a TV that's putting out static, but every so often is interspersed with video of things you remember from recent times. Desert camp, meeting Cobain, picking around the through the ruins, or well, what remains of the so-called haunted house. And you become aware of a sort of off-kilter music somewhere in the lower levels of your consciousness, like just on the edge of hearing, like a piano playing softly somewhere in the distance. It's really hard to hear sometimes. Other times you can just about make it out. And it draws you out into the street. If you stop to, check on anyone else around, like say your hated roommates, they're just fast asleep and cannot be woken. And out in the street, everything is silent as well. There are no cars, there are no other people. It's as if everyone is asleep at home except for you. And as you pass through the streets, you recognize the places of your neighborhood, but you also see that streets turn off at junctions into places they shouldn't, or they've become a dead end where they shouldn't be there, as if someone had taken the city and cut it up into one of those sliding square puzzle toys that kids have, and just slid them around. And you follow the music until you meet one another, just in a crossroads with the stoplights slowly changing color, but no traffic coming or passing. And the music is coming from a kind of open archway that leads, when you look down a long, long staircase, hundreds of steps down into the darkness. But at the bottom of that darkness, you can see just one kind of fluorescent bar light that's on the side of a wooden doorway. What do you do?
Knock.
Sure.
But banging, not politely, just more like Jesus, and then just bang on the door.
So the door is opened, and when you step inside, it's like it's a nightclub. It's got lights of sort of flashing kinds, but not a kind of modern day nightclub, like a jazz nightclub kind of thing. And there's sort of these pulsations of light, sometimes with strobing, sometimes not, are still in black and white. And these flashes of light that you will see show smiling faces and twisted bodies that you see slowly dancing around. And these dancers who are malformed in some way, it's hard to say how, are drifting around between the customers here and between the tables on long kind of catwalk like platforms that run between different rooms and different places. There are people dancing kind of huddling up with one another in corners or near the bar that's over on the far side. And you can hear that same music just a little louder now, again, kind of fading in and out of your perception. The walls are made of polished brown wood, and the floor is thickly carpeted. There are mirrors everywhere, including on the ceiling, which makes everything look pretty confusing. And to your right, Jenny, a voice says, "Have you come to save me?"
When I turn to look, is it the kid?
No, it's like a cloakroom attendant. And she says, "I said, may I take your coat, ma'am?"
No, I prefer keeping it on, but thanks.
Okay, welcome to Koshmars.
Yeah.
And you'll see this, you can drift through the club, and things are different here, the way they work. There are objects in the wrong place, like there are clothes hanging from the ceiling or glasses waiting to be used that are sitting on the floor on their trays. You hear conversation all around, like whispers, but you can hear it clearly from one part or another. And the way people speak is strange. You hear the people have the names of objects, key or bell or glass or door. Objects, you hear the staff referring to them by the names of colors. So the napkins are whites, and the appetizers are violets, and so on. Even materials and colors are referred to by the names of places, and places have the names of people. The toilets are the Aurora sisters, the stage is the Anastasia, and the bar is the Hesperide. And you pass by, frankly, odd people. A woman sort of brushes past you, and as she walks away, you see that she has a red tattoo on her shoulder of an hourglass, which is on the body of a spider. Sitting at one table by itself, you see a plastic dummy, like a mannequin or a crash test dummy, just with a glass of what looks like a vodka tonic in front of it, but it's not moving or talking or doing anything, just staring into space. You pass by a bearded man with long, untidy hair who is gorging himself on boiled eggs with quite disgusting gusto. And you see, well, probably two things of note. There's the bar, and sitting at the bar, getting towards the end of a glass of whiskey, is a man. Oh, sorry, can you turn on the screen sharing for me, please, Jason?
One moment, yeah.
Sure. A man in a reasonably nice three-piece suit. Let's see. Quite tall. And with the head of a crow. And he kind of looks at you four and does a little, the kind of little cheers gesture, like saying hi. What do you do?
Tom, where is he at?
He's kind of sitting by the bar, he's propping up the bar on one of the stools.
Question. You said that we could see a red hourglass tattoo. We can see color again? Or is it just the hourglass?
Some of these things are in color, yeah. Sometimes you see things like brown wood, little flashes of color, but mostly black and white.
Okay.
I'll walk over to the bar. I approached the bar, wondering who would I have to murder to get a gin Ricky around here. I was surprised to find a strange Corvidae man sitting at the bar. But at this point, nothing could really surprise me too much. And I just sit down next to him and say, I'm Ambrose Theroux.
Nice to meet you, Ambrose Theroux.
This is the Birdman talking, yes.
This is the Birdman, yeah. I'd watch who you're calling strange around here, though. First time?
Well, I've been to my fair share of rodeos, but this is the first time I've been at this particular gathering, yes.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if it's you and your friend's first time, I imagine the music's driving you kind of crazy, but don't worry. The more times you come back, little by little, you'll be able to discern it.
I do wonder if someone's going to bring me a drink.
Oh,
is there a barman?
There is a barman. He and the crow-headed man turns around and says, "Hey, barman," and the barman kind of goes first and says, "Hey, sorry, I'm got my hands full tonight. My usual help, she didn't show up. So, sir, what? I'll take a few minutes. What can I get you?"
Oh, whatever you think is best, but make sure it has gin.
Will do. I'll be right back. And he bustles off to deal with a man and a woman who've ordered some other drinks over at the other end of the bar.
Is there anything I can do, like, observationally to, like, check out this crow man, like, to maybe learn something that I am not seeing at first glance or anything like that? Like,
I don't know. He's a guy with a crow's head. That's pretty much much it. That's his deal. And he says, "Okay, how about this? How about we play a game? And if you win, you ask me questions, and I'll give you the answers. How does that sound? I like games." And he points. Right. He's got 3 glasses in front of him that are in the shape of, well, not glasses, cups, shaped like skulls. And he goes, "All right." He pops an egg under one of them and does the whole 3-card Monty thing. And
sure.
Says, "Where's the egg?"
Can I roll perceive or observation to get the right answer, or is there no right answer?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, go ahead and give it a go.
Of course, I don't have any dice handy. Hold on. Okay, so
what's that going to be?
I have a 3 on perceiving, and after I roll, I can assign some points to observation, right?
Yeah, you could. So if you want to blow 15 points on observation, you'd have 2, 5 for 1 reroll.
Okay. But I can just roll 3 for now, right?
Yeah, roll 3 for now.
I got 1 success. Is that enough?
Let's see. Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't do a great job. You wonder if maybe he's sandbagging because he just wants to have a conversation. And he
could be, yes.
Pops out and goes, pretty good. What's your question?
My question is, oh gosh, what is my question? What is the song that we're hearing?
There are a number of schools of thought about that. The one I find most likely is that it's the background music of everybody here. You see, the habitués of this club are, much like yourselves, lucid dreamers. Everybody here is. And this, Koshimars, is the place that attracts everyone sooner or later in their sleep. So it's the place that's been most experienced by people who are dreaming. It's the place that's most created by us as a group, do you see? So it's hard to make anything change here because it's fixed in the minds of everyone. And the music, I think, is kind of the sound of all of that dreaming happening.
I see. It's this sort of thing that unifies us, brings us all together.
I mean, I'd say that's maybe a 45% chance that's what it is, but who knows? Incidentally, if you want to get here again voluntarily, all you got to do is think about it before you go to sleep and concentrate on that fact. Then you'll do okay.
Are we all hearing the same song? Like, does it sound the same to us, or do we have our own version of it? I wonder.
I think you're all hearing more or less the same song. If you take time to hum it to each other later,
Yeah.
you know, kind of blinky blonky, off kilter, sinister jazz, that kind of thing.
Journey nudges Rich, like in the side. It's like, is this the place that we're supposed to be?
Yeah, this is where he said.
We're supposed to find this goblin guy or something?
Yeah, I think we should start asking around.
Yeah. I mean, I in this place, I wouldn't even know like if goblin is actually the right name for what he, she, it, they may look like. So yeah, I mean, probably should just ask.
Yeah, it's a bit broad. All right. I think Rich is going to sit down at the nearest available seat, look to the fellow club attendees, look to the most human-looking one, and sort of kind of try and.
Well, there's that couple that just got served their drinks by the barman, and
Oh yeah.
they'll go, yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm new here. Listen, I'm supposed to meet my friend here, a goblin.
Goblin. God, I don't know. Just hey, ask the barman. He knows everybody that comes in. So yeah. In fact, they sort of wave the barman down. Hey, this guy's got a question. The barman's like, what can I get you?
Hey, hold the drink for now, but I need to meet with Goblin.
Well, you also gotta buy a drink first. So, what are you having?
Oh, what's on tap?
Well, it's pretty much anything you want. So,
looking up and down, I think he's just gonna say he's gonna pick the safest option here and just say, I'll just have some water.
Okay.
Journey, like, looks over his shoulder and just says, no, just get us some Glenfiddich.
You got it, lady. And he comes back with a couple of drinks. He comes back with whatever Arabella would have ordered, even though she didn't mention it. And Ambrose gets his gin. Oh, go on.
No, actually, while this was happening, I was gonna ask if I could have followed that lady with the tattoo.
Oh, okay. Sure. She goes off. There are lots of little not rooms. There are different alcoves. Like there's nowhere that closes a door exactly, but sort of separate room spaces around. And she goes into one of those and sits down with opposite a kind of tall, pale man in a suit that is probably blue, although you're still seeing in black and white. So you're not too sure. Do you kind of just watch her, or are you going to approach them?
I'm gonna approach them and I'm gonna say, "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. I just wanted to say I love your tattoo."
Oh, and she kind of preens a little bit and sort of looks across at the man as if to say, "Told you," and well, that's sweet. Thank you. And then she sort of looks a little awkward, like she doesn't know what to say next.
I'm new here. What would you suggest I drink? Is there like a house specialty?
I always have a dry martini, so honestly, it's a dream club, so whatever you want, sweetie.
Right. Thank you so much. And she's gonna go to the bar where I assume Ambrose is,
Yeah.
and then order a dry martini.
Yeah. Now the barman is sort of assumes that Rich is getting the round, and he says, "So entry is free, but you got to pay for the drinks." And the cast is, "Tell me about a dream you had." So what does Rich? I mean, would Rich tell him an actual dream he's had in the past, or would he make something up?
I think you tell him an actual dream.
Mm.
Yeah, are we just free to
Yeah.
offer it? But okay, yeah. I think this is a recurring dream that he's had. I think it's of sort of like the floor collapsing behind you, nature. And I think he's at work, and he turns the corner of the lengthy hallways between the various offices in the department that he works. And as he turns the corner, he feels the floor give way underneath his heel. So he starts running faster, trying to get faster and faster. But the faster he tries to run, the slower that it seems that he's going, until eventually he's backed up against the end of the corridor that he hadn't seen until he gets there, and turns around and sees that the floor is about to reach his toes, and then the dream ends.
The barman nods, like he can tell this is true. Appreciate it. Well, enjoy. And he just turns around and goes, "Carradwin, is she still not here?" And wanders off into the background. And then he like remembers, comes back and says, "If you're looking for the goblin, he's here every night. He always sits by himself in one of the rooms at the back. You can't miss him." And he wanders off. So what's your plan of action? Nail a martini in one drink and then go find the goblin. Yeah.
Should we go see them?
Yeah, we should definitely check out the back. See if we can find this goblin guy, dude, thing.
Sure. So, and well, he was right. You can't miss him. Sitting alone at a table, just kind of a little guy in a pinstripe suit with he's only got a little bit of hair left, but it's all kind of very straight parting down one side, kind of a George McFly look. And he is smoking a little pipe that has no smell. And he is of a very particular appearance, which is how you know he's the goblin. And this is, yeah. As he looks up, he says, he seems to know that you should be coming. He looks down at his feet where there's a briefcase on the floor. He says, "All right, have a seat." You're the he looks around to see if anyone's listening, which is like seems redundant in a dream, but whatever. And so yeah, you're the ones from the ancients, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. So here, and he gets out his attaché case, briefcase, pops it on the table in front of you, and he says, "Right, you find my beloved and give her this. Her name's Fortune, and she's hiding just like I am. She's the only one who has a key that can open this case, and inside it is everything that I know. So you find her, and get her to open it. That's it. You can have everything inside. Understand? I feel
I'm
like you have
assuming we're all
questions.
there.
Yeah.
And I will just ask the obvious question. Well, do you have any leads on where we might find Fortune?
Yeah. And he takes out a notepad. Oh, 1 second. Oh no, sorry. And he takes out a pen and he writes on the back of a beer mat, basically. Well, what do you call it in a more classy place? A coaster from the club, and like he sort of hands it to you. Says it's invisible ink, but when you wake up, you'll be able to read it. And so this is the last address I have for her, right? But I can't go there to check myself, so I can't. I'm safe in here, but when I'm awake, I can't go anywhere. So you've got to go. And he presses the coaster into your hand.
And she exists in the waking world? Is that what I'm given to understand?
Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? Because in here, I'm safe, but she's got this Fortune. She's got this this thing. She don't dream when she's asleep, so she can never come here. So we've got a bit of a problem, basically. People are after me. They're gonna, well, people want to kill me. So I don't want to lead them to her either. So I need to get myself out of the game, right? I used to be like you, working for the ancients. And if I cut myself off from them and get shot of all of my knowledge and memories, right? Then I'll be able to get away. She'll be safe. So will I, although frankly that's 50-50. But we can't I can't wake up safely. She can't find me in here. So that's the problem.
Do you look
But you're
like
trying to
this
pass
when
this
you
along
look?
to her? Is that?
Like I said, take the case to her. She's got the key. Open the case and deal with what's inside. All right? She'll know what to do.
We were supposed to tell you something.
What are you supposed to tell me?
Meta, I forgot the exact wording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you deliver the. I've also forgotten what was it. It's the message.
All I remember catching was nothing is eternal.
Yeah, nothing is eternal. Everything has an end. And you just listen to that, and he's quiet for a moment. He's yeah, that's right. Everything has an end.
Will we have to do this someday? Or soon? Like, if you're trying to get out of the ancient service, is this something we're going to have to do ourselves?
He smiles ruefully. And then a calm heartbeat wakes you up. Your own heartbeat, but slow, measured. It's dark, silence reigns, and you feel the muscles in your legs moving. You're walking somewhere in the dark. You're walking towards something. When you turn your head, you realize you're together, but you're all seeing through the same pair of eyes. And when you pass a glass pane in a doorway, you see your reflection. You are the goblin. Immediately you smile because you know that you are here to kill. Kill who? Her. You don't know. You traverse the corridors of a big mansion with Baroque decorations, very classy furniture everywhere. You look through the rooms and move from shadow to shadow, moving in the blind spots of people, that servants and guards moving around in these corridors. You see a big staircase and mount the stairs with assurance. In a distant bedroom, from a distant bedroom, you can hear cries of passion. But at the end of the hallway that you're on, there's a man sitting in front of a door, playing something on his cell phone. A second later, the guard stains the screen of the phone with his red blood, because you've cut his throat with the long knife that you've been carrying. His death groan fades away to be replaced by the passionate cries coming from the other end of the corridor. Your pulse remains unperturbed. Inside the goblin's body, you drag the body out of sight, opening the door, and you find yourself in a spacious bedroom where the windows are barred. And although the noise of your footsteps is silenced by the carpet, you still are detected. And the girl who's sitting on the bed turns around and looks at you. She's sitting cross-legged, wearing a long linen blouse. Blonde hair is kind of bunched up behind her head. She looks you in the eyes. You pause, not knowing what to do, and your heart begins to pound rapidly. And Fortune says, "Good evening." "Good evening. Can I get you anything?" says the waitress in the diner where you are all sitting under bright lights with the Golden Years soap opera on at the end of the bar, the counter, I mean. And you look around, there's kind of ordinary families and people just hanging out around here, having the snacks or maybe a small dinner. If you look at the table, you see the coasters for this place, which look like this. Apparently you're in the Dream Inn diner, and it looks like every Americana Hollywood 50s diner that you can imagine. Let's see.
Well, this has been an eventful day, I think.
Automatically, Journey, as soon as she hears the waitress like ask what we want, it's like she automatically orders like a chocolate milkshake, fries, and a burger.
You got it, honey. She kind of wanders off to shout the order through the hatch, I believe is traditional. The briefcase is at your feet under the table, and you now have an address written on the back of the Dream Inn mat, not the Koshmars one. So, what do you do? Well, one of you's like tucking into a hearty repast and a chocolate milkshake. What do the rest of you do?
I'm assuming this is one of the places that has like the little individual jukeboxes on the table.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm like flipping through that and trying to find, maybe some Patsy Cline, maybe some Buddy Holly, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but they've got both kinds of music here. So yeah.
I think Rich is taking the wrappers that straws come in, and he's like breaking off little pieces of it and forming the YH YW on the table.
Interesting.
Arabella's gonna try to figure out how far this address is from, well, where we are.
Right, yeah, you
Actually,
can
where
Google
are we?
Maps it. Yeah, so you're on, this is a little place. I mean, you've never heard of this street, but it is off the Rosa Parks freeway. So it kind of, which cuts through LA. Yeah, you're about maybe a 15, 20-minute drive from your own home. And looking at the back of the map, maybe 10 minutes from the address that the goblin gave to you.
He's gonna look up at, well, the two people who are still at the table and say, it's really close by.
Well, I'm determined to get this little job over with as quick as possible. And you said there's a soap opera playing on the TV?
Yeah. Golden Years, it's been running for ages. Everybody knows Golden Years.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I will happily inform everyone that I had a 7-episode arc as a guest star on Golden Years back in the early 80s. I'll go on about like that's when Tanya had weirdly given birth to herself and was recovering from the 5th time they tried to kill her off on the show, and I'm going on and on.
Right. Has anybody else seen Golden Years, or is this just lost on you completely?
Completely lost. It didn't grow up with the TV.
I mean, now it's like I have a reference point so I can try to look back at those episodes, but I mean, like that's a filing point for
exactly
later.
What I was thinking.
I spent 3 episodes trapped in a giant crystal. I don't really know what that was about, but
The set must have been amazing.
You could do a lot with paper mache back in those days. Bring back practical effects, that's what I say. Who cares about all this computer wizardry?
Would anybody like to roll me a perceive check?
I would. I have
Sure.
5.
Okay, go ahead.
That's 5. That's 5d6, right?
Yeah, 5d6. You can use rerolls from observation.
All right. Let's see. So 6, 6, 6. Ha! A 4, and I can reroll a 2.
Yeah. Well, you do not
A 5.
need to. Wow, that's all the successes. You can regain reserves if you are below 6.
Nope.
Game 1. Yeah, you notice that like everyone's super casual in here. There's like a dozen or so people, but every so often you notice that these ordinary people, like a truck driver, a lone grandmother who's tucking into some kind of sandwich, the sort of 12-year-old kid who's sitting with his family, they keep stealing glances at the briefcase, like they want to take it.
Shit. I mentioned that under my breath, and I'm like, I think I need to get my food to go. We need to... I mean, we woke up in the diner, or this Dream Inn place. I mean, are we dreaming still, or are we conscious of having a physical vehicle to go to this place?
Yeah, this seems to be back to normal. So someone's car is probably parked outside, I guess. If you look lean over, look out the window. So you could be peeling out of here anytime. Yeah, not Ambrose's, no. Like to know Ambrose's.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm hoping that the woman comes back with my food quickly, but if not, I'm just gonna slap some.
Yeah, she's served you pretty quickly, so you can. I mean, you could take it with you if you don't want to hang around to finish it first.
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be taking it to go. I'm stuffing it in a bag. We need to go now. I mean, I don't like the way these people are looking at us, or the briefcase thing.
Yeah. Okay. Are you standing up to go now?
Yep.
All right. Are you taking the briefcase?
I mean, I can, but
Yeah, but are you? Is the question.
Um. Well, let's put it this way. I don't care who's actually driving. I can drive, but I mean, if I'm driving, I'm not the one taking the briefcase.
I'll drive.
Okay,
We
so
can
I'll take the
go, but
briefcase.
you should know that I have paid for 6 Loretta Lynn songs, and I'm not going to listen to any of them now.
Life could be tough, can't it? As you're right about to head out the door, the truck driver, double denim, mesh back cap, blocks your way, Jenny. Says, "Give me the briefcase.
Yeah, get out of my way.
Give me the briefcase." What are you doing? You don't want to get hurt, lady. You better give me that briefcase. Come on.
Yeah, you don't want to get hurt either, dude. All right. So as she's saying
Okay,
this,
he
she's actually
grabs
reaching
her up,
behind.
Yeah.
She's reaching behind and getting her knife out.
Yeah, let's have a fighting contest. Okay, go ahead. I will roll some dice.
Arabella's gonna grab the briefcase from Journey and like hightail backwards.
Okay.
Now, is this my fight or am I doing the weapon?
I think you're doing it's fight. The weapon thing is just damage only. So
Okay.
Go ahead and fight. And if you've got any melee rerolls, this will be the time to use them. You need.
God. All right. So
Okay,
2 6s and 2 2. Whoop, wait, a 3 and a 2.
Those
do I use
fails.
blades for a reroll?
Yeah, you can use blades to reroll.
Yeah, a 5.
Ah, nice. That puts you above him. So go ahead and roll your knife damage, which is 3d6, right? Oh, sorry, 3 dice, no rerolls.
Okay. 5 plus 4 plus 3. 12.
That's 2 successes. Okay, so that's a nasty cut. Well, where do you cut him?
I mean, how much bigger is he than I am? You think? I mean,
I don't know how big are you? He's a big unit. Yeah, like probably a bit taller than you for sure.
I love the description of unit. We know why from the between. Journey's kind of like medium sized, so basically she's gonna stick him like right in the middle.
Oof, like stabbing, not even slashing. Right, nasty. Yeah, so he makes a noise and kind of falls away. Like he does. You don't quite stick him right, really seriously, but he's bleeding, and because he reflexively pulls away from the blade when he sees it coming. People start shrieking.
You to get out of my way.
Arabella, you're running for the other. I'll assume there's another door out of here. Are you going to run out the other way?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and give me a test of something suitably athletic. Hang on a sec. I got to stop sharing. I always confuse myself with Zoom. If I do that, let me see. I guess we'd be looking at move plus, reflexes. I mean, whatever you care to claim, actually. Yeah. So yeah, roll a number.
I will
of d6s
totally do
equal
move
to
plus
move.
Reflexes.
All right, sweet. So that's just roll dice equal to your move and re-rolls equal to your reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 rolls and 2 dice I've lost on the floor.
6 6 4 5 5. I re-rolled a 2 to get a 5.
Yeah, that is a lot of successes. I don't think it's actually possible for me to catch up with that. So congratulations. Yeah, so like that kid, like just when you're backing away, like he's in your blind spot. He's like just trying to snatch the briefcase off you, but you spot him and you're able to get off, and bolt out of the door. What are the other 2 of you doing, Ambrose and Rich?
I'm happy to help out with the combat. I don't know what weapons I have, but
well, I believe that every table has a little jukebox, so that's one option.
I could just lift that and sling it at him.
I don't know how big are they. Up to you. Yeah. So.
I think I would just grab grab like a salt shaker.
All those the shiny napkin.
That's dispenser. Good. Yeah, the little napkin dispenser. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna throw it? Okay, cool. Give me a. I feel like that's a force roll because you're throwing it hard rather than precisely. So,
okay, let me take a look. I do have 3 dice on that. Let's see. 2 successes.
Oh, that's also enough. So it kind of conks the guy off the head, and he staggers back into the, back and through and outside the doorway, leaving. I mean, leaving for now the way to your car clear. Arabella, you've gone around the outside, so you can just like get right in there if you want to. Oh, it's your car, isn't it, Arabella? So, yeah. What kind of so what are you driving these days? Is it like a family station wagon, or hopefully it's not a
Let's say
smart
one of
car
those
because
mom
we need 4
cars,
seats.
the soccer mom van with the rolling doors.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can you're all able to pile into the soccer mom mobile and well, I'd say peel away, but actually I think it's probably,
She
light
needs it to deliver
neurogenic.
cakes. I mean,
Yeah. No, so I feel like Arabella doesn't peel away from scenes. I feel like she just carefully, checks both mirrors, signals, you got to be careful with this kind of stuff. And yeah, you see the grandma kind of calling someone on the phone and watching you as you drive away, but you're able to get away while the trucker just kind of stands up and leans against the wall for support, and someone tries to staunch his bleeding with napkins from the very same shiny dispenser with which he was just hit, and so on. And let's take a quick tea break there if that's okay by you guys. Come back in the safe 5 minutes. So 10:40 for me. I don't know what time that is for you. Just 10:40. All right. See you everyone. All right. Welcome back after the break, everyone. Unless there is a massive objection, I will cut immediately to you guys pulling up outside the classic U-shaped LaRusso home style LA apartment block, where you have the most recent address for Fortune, the did you say beloved? Yes, the beloved of the beloved of the goblin. So yeah, there is like oh man, I can't think of how you would say this more normally in American English. Like the text is as a concierge. I don't think you refer to it as a concierge. It's like a caretaker. Is that the right word?
doorman, maybe.
Well, of an apartment, this kind of apartment building, it would be like a superintendent.
That's the word I'm after. Yeah, the
Yeah.
super. So there is a building super who is kind of, you can tell is in the office, but you can actually walk right up and go find the apartment if you want to. So yeah, what's your approach here?
Take it away, Rich.
All right. Keep in mind you have elected him as your representative to the world. He approaches the superintendent and says, "Hey, is what did they call her? Fortune?
Fortune, yeah.
Yeah, Fortune. Is there a Fortune here?"
So this guy he's sort of standing, with the door open like this. He's a huge man with thinning curly hair, maybe in his late 20s, and he's sort of wearing just I was about to say a vest. That's not what you guys call it, is it? A sleeveless t-shirt, let's say that. And like he's described here as I'll translate quite directly, a monster bodybuilder addicted to proteins. So he's like
top.
kind of yeah looms over you. He's like, Fortune, like on the second floor, right? Yeah.
Second floor. Which room?
Didn't you? Well, let me check. He kind of goes to look at, it's like flat number 5, whatever. He goes, yeah, she. I don't know if she's around that way. I ain't seen her in a while. She got some mail from Canada. I took it up to the door because I thought international mail maybe is, more valuable. So that was like a week ago, I think. Yeah. But maybe
Okay.
she's home.
Thanks, you've been a big help.
No problem. He just kind of retreats into his office. The door swings shut.
He was a bit too helpful, wasn't he? Do superintendents normally give you room numbers off the bat?
Not in my experience, but what none
He
of this
didn't
makes
strike
sense.
me as the sort of person who is extremely dedicated to the ethical contours of his job.
He's got contours, but not those kinds. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we can head up.
Yeah. Knock on the door? Or, well, we all know what the other options are. So, what are you going to do?
Wait, can I say that before we got out of the car, I got like an empty cake box, and I'm just holding it, so it looks like I have a
All right,
delivery
yeah,
going.
sure. Okay.
So knock
Yeah,
and
knock
say
away.
delivery.
Okay. There is no answer. And you get you don't hear any kind of shuffling around. Like the sound of people trying to avoid answering the door. Seems like there's just nobody home. What do you want to do?
Can we check the door to see if it's unlocked?
It is locked.
I saw someone pick a lock with a credit card once in the movies. Maybe I could try that.
Okay, you try that. That seems like savoir-faire to me.
I think so.
Yeah.
You get 4 dice for that. Hold on.
I whisper under my Journey whispers under her breath. I am now a fan of Ambrose.
I got 2 successes. I don't think any of the sub skills really apply though.
No, it's good enough for me. This is a pretty flimsy, you're sort of trying to emulate something you saw, I guess, Martin Landau or someone do in the mid 60s,
Exactly,
and then
right,
click. There you go.
Like that worked.
Hey, just like in the movies. So
I'm surprised you didn't
were-
hum the Mission Impossible theme, the old Mission Impossible
Exactly.
theme.
Right, yeah.
aka the good Mission Impossible theme. It opens onto a main living room, which is let's say barely furnished. There's like one round coffee table or a couple of chairs. That's pretty much it. And then the kitchen is, it's part of the same room. It's just one corner kitchen. I don't know what the phrase is for that, or actually, again, normally I do, but as soon as I start reading French, I forget what it is, but just work with me. So there's a corner kitchen, coin cuisine, which has like a few bits and pieces, but somebody give me a perceive test, difficulty 1.
Okay, that's a 6 and a 5 and a 4.
Yeah, that'll do you. So this apartment has been visited. So like not ransacked, but things have been moved and they're not put back right. So like someone's gone through a drawer and then shoved all the stuff back in it, or they've the wardrobe, like the clothes are not properly back in the wardrobe when you stick your head into the bedroom. And let's see. Actually, wait, you got 3 successes on that, right? So
Yeah.
And in fact, when you look more closely, kind of look under a lampshade and stuff like that, you realize that there are several small microphones that have been placed in the rooms.
I immediately wave to everybody else and do the quiet signal.
Please tell me that Ambrose goes, "Why are you telling me to be quiet?" Maybe not.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just...
Sorry, I'm just imagining that. What does this throat slitting gesture mean? What I don't. So there's a couple of these microphones around, and then in the bedroom there are just one bed, wardrobe with various items of women's clothing. And let's see, you notice, in fact, that it includes the self-same long linen chemise that you saw Fortune wearing in the recollection of the goblin that you experienced. And if you rifle through that, which I'm going to assume as semi-competent amateur investigators you would do, you find a tiny, a little note has been wrapped up and kind of put around the coat hanger that blouse is on. So in other words, remember the first time we met? This is the thing I was wearing, so that's the clue. Anyway, and you see that the note says this. Harvest men, too dangerous, meet with sway. And that, I will inform you, is pretty much all there is to discover of importance at this apartment. Someone's been in here that doesn't live here, but it looks like whoever does live here has departed voluntarily or involuntarily, as the case may be. So what do you want to do?
So there's no other information on this note?
Nope. It presumes that you know who and where, who or what harvestmen are.
Harvestmen are, yeah.
And where or who sway might be. Yeah.
Yes. I think I might put in a phone call to Mr. X.
That seems very wise.
Mr. X knows
allow
about
me to
the situation.
After we leave the apartment, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, sure, like sitting in the car outside or something.
Yeah.
I insist that we have to go find a landline phone. I don't think Mr. X uses these new phones, and so I don't know how any of it works. But
so what exactly are you asking? Oh, you're asking him about sway, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to, like just to know who sway is, and if he, on the off chance he knows who the harvestmen or what they are, that would be great too.
Yeah, he does know who the harvestmen are. Listen, I don't know who's writing notes to you, but they're right about the harvestmen. They're too dangerous, especially for you, Ambrose. You've got a frail physique. They are.
I will sort of like, well, it's true. I'm no Richard Burton in his prime, but I certainly have. I get in my steps every day, and well, these guys are professional killers. So, I mean, on balance, I would suggest you stay away from them. You should see me chuck a napkin dispenser at someone earlier. It was a remarkable feat of. I swear to God, Ambrose, I will hang up on you. Okay, fine. Harvestman. So who's Sway? Sway is this guy who makes people disappear, but in a good way. You want to vanish, you want to change your identity, you want to move to Mexico, or I don't know, Venezuela. They're both great. You go to Sway. He runs a place called the Forget Me Not Hotel, and he can make you vanish. That's excellent. He reels off an address for the hotel to you, and he says, "Stay away from the harvestmen. Stay away from their mom, the Black Widow." Then he hangs up. I hang up the phone in the probably like the only payphone, the only payphone in Los Angeles. Yeah, and I turn around, I click the button, see if I get my dime back, and I say, "Well, I found a clue." And I share all the information with. Nice. All right, now,
you are a guy in the know, don't you?
You wanna go do some. You do have other contacts, of course. If you want to do more research, there's always Go and Cobain, if you can be bothered talking to that guy, and of course the people at Koshimar's Club are quite helpful in their way, so that's up to you.
Now we have to dream about being at Koshimar's, or is Koshimar's real? I mean,
no, you have to think, I want to go to Koshimar's as you fall asleep.
Okay. Well, this requires us to take a rest and go to sleep and get back to this place.
Yeah, so that's up to you.
Just out of curiosity, like, did I just hear that Ambrose got an address for Sway, or we don't
did,
have
yeah.
one? Okay.
Yeah, he's
all
got
right.
one.
For the hotel that Sway owns, apparently.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
I mean, technically, someone could just nap in the car as we drive there.
That's actually true.
True.
Who would like to nap in the car? Man, this is action packed. There's sleeping, sitting around in cars.
I've got an Ambien and a hip flask. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do, you want to do that? I don't mind.
Well, I don't mind.
I think a car nap is a little cheeky, but I'll allow it. Yeah. So.
Well, how far away is this hotel? Because like, it's conceivable that we're gonna fall asleep that fast.
Well, but time kind of works differently in dreams anyway. So like you may need, you could spend hours in the club, but it's only 5 minutes.
You might just need like a blink. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So okay, well let's just cut to you staring down the barrel of a gin rookie at Koshmar's, and the crow-headed man is there, and so is the barman is there, but he's not really. He doesn't want to talk. He's occupied because this girl Carrie Dwen is still not shown up for work, and she's always ill, always something. She's not showing up. So, but the crow is willing to talk if you wanna talk to him.
I will look at him and sidle up to him. And what's a magpie like you doing in a place like this?
He actually, his beak does a weird sort of bending thing, and then you realize he's smiling.
And so the Mr. X mentioned the something to do with the Black Widow, right? Did I get that?
Yeah, the Black Widow.
Yeah. Well, so group out of character. What am I trying to find out here?
Yeah. I think you might be trying to find out more about the Harvestmen. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll just say. So, these people who call themselves the Harvestmen, do you know anything about them? I thought you might, crows, harvests, it all kind of comes together, right?
Right. Well, I do know who the Harvestmen are, yeah. They're, well, I was going to say you can't miss them, but you can. They have a distinctive appearance, all pasty and bald, black suits, but seeing them is the difficulty. They have a kind of power over shadows, although also only a power in shadows. So blazing sunshine is your friend, but they're deadly. Luckily for us, they can't get into Koshmar's. They can't dream, you see. They're all brothers, sons, so they say, of the Black Widow. They do her bidding. So if you've got something that she wants, they'll come after you. Why do you ask?
Oh, my colleagues and I are currently trying to chase down someone who either doesn't want to be found or who has found themselves in a bit of trouble and can't be found. And we've discovered that these Harvestmen and this Black Widow might be involved in some way. And so I'm just doing a little bit of reconnoitering to figure out what's going on here.
It's very wise. How much do you know about the Black Widow?
Well, maybe you could tell me more. Maybe we could share notes.
What do you what do you want to know about her?
Well, what is her business?
Okay, so we really are starting from the basics, huh? And he kind of slurps up.
Well, I just want to see what you know.
Right. Sure. And he kind of fixes you sidelong with a knowing crow eye and says, "So, the Black Widow, she's the head of a kind of mafia that specializes in all things carnal, pornography, sex shops, prostitution, controls it all over LA. And among other things, she has the zesty reputation for killing the men that she takes to bed. The rumor goes that during the act, she poisons them and then drains their blood afterwards." Okay, your go.
You know, this is not what my dreams are normally like, friend. This is not really the way it usually goes. My dreams are, well, normally like the 1963 film Cleopatra, except for Elizabeth Taylor, it's me. And except for ancient Egypt, it's a back alley in Marrakesh, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, as long as somebody gets rolled up in a carpet, I suppose that's the main thing.
Indeed. You've been very helpful. What's your name, by the way?
Everybody calls me the man with the head of a crow.
Everything here is so on the nose, isn't it? All right. You've been wonderful.
Well, you are, just as you're saying, you've been very helpful. You're sort of shaken awake by someone in the car. Like, come on, we're here. And indeed, you are. The Forget-Me-Not Hotel. Actually, what it says on the old sign that kind of fell off, but you can still see where the letters was, Hotel Oublié, but same difference. It's let's see. Yes, it's perfectly preserved, but its glory days are long gone, from the 1950s. And you can see as you walk in that the main part of the building is fine. It's not going to fall down, but the paint is peeling in places, and the orange lights flicker on and off occasionally. There is a guy behind the reception desk who is young, kind of tall, slender, pale, somewhat androgynous in appearance. He looks like this. His name tag says Joshua, and he welcomes you to the Forget-Me-Not Hotel. What do you say?
Say, we're looking for that Sway fellow. Do you happen to know where he might be?
Not precisely, but he gestures to a collection of business cards on the desk that just have a phone number on them. It says, "But if you call ahead and he agrees to see you, then we can arrange for something."
Thanks. Yeah, take a card and give his number a call.
Okay, and while you're dialing, he turns to Joshua, turns to Arabella and says, "So are you looking to get away yourself?"
Something like that. We're in a spot of trouble.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm sure Mr. Sway can help you out. And yeah, when you call the number, someone, the phone gets picked up at the other end, and the voice just says, very brusquely says, "Who is it?" to you, Rich. What do you say?
A potential customer.
Okay. Say that I told you to come right on up. Say exactly that. And he hangs up. And if you relay that to Joshua, he just nods and kind of starts to lead you away up to a room on the second floor. And he does the old kind of knock on the door and then turn the handle and sort of open it for you, but then walks away and doesn't stick around to see you. The door opens on a reasonably fancy suite, but that does not, you don't have time to take in the furnishings, because you see there is a man here, like maybe 40 something, blonde hair, fallen on the ground. He is tied to a chair. He is gagged and he is bleeding from cuts on his face and different parts of his body. And he kind of stares at you in shock as the door opens. And you hear a crackling sound from further into the suite, and you realize that there is a fire somewhere further inside, beyond the fallen man. What do you do?
Arabella's gonna try to untie this dude, staunch some of the bleeding.
Okay, so so Arabella, as you rush in, please give me a force roll. You're looking for 2 successes. And as you watch Arabella run over the rest of you, you notice a flicker of movement in the shadows up on the ceiling. What do you do?
A 3 and a 6, so no.
No. Do you have any rerolls? Okay, so you're kind of tugging at the bonds on the chair. You can keep trying basically, but it'll take until you do that. It doesn't work. Okay, let's go. Rich, what do you do?
You said that there's movement.
There's moving up in the ceiling. There's a fire further on in the room, and yeah, and the sort of shadows are moving in a way unrelated to the sunlight on the ceiling above Arabella.
Do the shadows seem to suggest a coherent shape?
Not really, but they definitely suggest a creature or person or a being moving of its own volition.
Okay, I'm going to take out my Leatherman and just flick out the knife edge of it, and slowly start to back towards the door.
Okay, so away from Arabella.
Yeah.
Okay, Journey, what about you?
Are there curtains on the windows?
There are. Yeah.
She immediately goes to the curtains and then starts tearing them down.
Okay, that's going to be a force roll, please. I think that's only difficulty 2 as well, probably. Ambrose, what about you?
I think that
I'm taking that as a no.
2 and a 1.
Yeah.
I think I will. Well, once we still can't quite see what's up in the ceiling, right? Like we don't.
Not yet.
And the curtains are still up, it sounds like. And so I will reflexively just chuck something up there. This is my thing today.
Yeah, it's grabbing a vase or something.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll a force roll, I guess. Yeah.
Force. Okay.
Maybe it's time to spend points on throwing in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do have that is a thing. Yeah.
That's an option. The most pedestrian RPG skill.
I got 1 hit. I can put some points on throwing if that works.
You could do if you want to, yeah. It's declare 5 points in it, maybe just re-roll 1. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's do a reroll 1. Oh, it was a miss. I only got 1 success.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, sadly your hurled vase does little but smash, but it does reveal suddenly, yeah, a face looks at you and glares. It's a pasty bald guy in a dark suit emerging from the shadows out of the ceiling. And at that point, the D6 is going. At that point, the harvestmen drop down from the ceiling. There are 6 of them. They surround Arabella. One of them, Arabella, hacks at you with a very nasty looking knife. Please give me maybe a move roll to get out of the way. That'll be with reflexes, and you are looking for 2 or more successes. And remember, you can spend reserves to get buy a success if you need to.
No need. 3, 5, 5, 6, 6. I rerolled a 2.
Yeah, wow, very nice. Okay, so you're able to roll right out of the way. The rest of you, I mean, I'm assuming everyone's going to try and as they pull their guns, kind of duck behind some cover of different kinds. So if you would like to not be shot by the bad guys, please go ahead and roll. Again, move, I think, with reflexes is probably the way to go. Okay, Ambrose, you are looking for 3 successes.
I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Remember, you can buy them with reserves if you have to.
I have 2 successes on 3 dice. I could put a thing in reflexes. I do have some to spend, I think.
Okay.
I'll try a reroll. No.
No. Okay. You're going to take. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Lose 3 health. Bang! You just got shot.
Okay.
Right here. Very painful. Okay. Let's see. Jenny, you're looking for 1, 2. Also for 3 successes.
Oh,
How do you do?
One success out of 5, but then for reserves I can only use 1 reserve for a reroll.
That is interesting. I think you can burn through them as quickly as you like, but let me just double check that. Let's see. Utilisation, resource. Okay.
Because I am happy to reroll 2 to get the full success.
Yeah, no, you can spend. It doesn't restrict how many you can spend in one go. So if you want to spend them all here, that's fine. So it's not a reroll; it's just a 1-for-1, a success if you need it.
Oh, okay. Then full
Okay,
success.
good. So yeah, you're able to get down behind an overstuffed armchair, and the stuffing goes foop, 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 all over the shop. And Rich, you're looking for 4 successes. Good luck.
Oh no, yeah, that's not going to happen. I got 2.
All right. Well, you can burn reserves to.
That's
hit
true.
4 if you need to.
And yeah, okay, I'll do that.
All right. So let's throw it back to you guys. Arabella, you were able to roll away from your attacker initially. You're still kind of, I'd say, just outside of arm's reach. What do you want to do? By the way, the room is still on fire, and the fire is getting a lot bigger. Oh,
Am I still surrounded?
Kind of. Although many of them are paying attention to your friends now, so they're not like in a circle all around you or anything. Also, I do have a crucial question. Where is the briefcase?
Did we leave it in the car? I thought we would have left it in the car.
I think you may have left it in the car. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Arabella, what are you doing?
Did I hear Ambrose get shot?
For sure. Yeah.
Can I try to roll towards wherever he's covered?
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me a move roll. I think they'll try and grab as you go past, but they're not particularly good at that. Yeah, you're looking for 2 successes on that.
1, 3, 4, 5, 4, 6, 6.
Yeah.
1, 3, 4, 6, 6.
So regain a reserve if you needed to, but yeah, you kind of slip past. They kind of pour at you awkwardly, but they kind of got a handful of weapons, but they're trying to grab you. It doesn't really work out. And you can get right over to Ambrose and maybe drag him out of the line of fire a little bit. Might be wise. I don't know.
I would.
Yeah. Rich, what do you do?
What's the situation with the curtains?
They are very much intact, I believe.
Okay. Could I? Would I? I'm guessing I would be crossing through the line of fire if I were to try and go open them, right?
Yeah, you would be. Yeah.
Okay. In a rare fit of bravery, I think Rich will try and do that.
Okay, nice. Go give me a force check.
Okay.
2 successes.
And is there a specialty that might help here?
I don't know. Furniture knowledge, yanking things.
Right. Sure. Pulling, perhaps.
Pulling would be fine. Yeah.
There we go. I'll spend. Okay. Oh, I don't need to. 2 successes.
Oh, okay, very nice. So the curtains come down and you see that the harvestmen flinch. Okay, Journey, what do you do?
Like, so did he completely take down the curtains? And so, I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm going to give him a kind of cinematic, thump, and the whole thing cascades down in slow motion kind of moment, and the sunlight streams in. Celestial synths are heard on the soundtrack, the kind of thing. So,
right.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
basically the room is awash in light that is kind of
yeah,
making them stop a little bit.
exactly. Yeah,
Um, fudge it. I'm just gonna fight because I mean,
sure.
she
Yeah,
whips
when
out
you
her
got a
blade again.
knife, yeah, go
Yeah,
for it. I
fight.
will try and yeah, roll a fight. Use your blades rerolls, and you are looking for 4 successes. These guys are quite tough, even in the sunlight.
All right, so two
Oh, that's two.
successes. I want to
Sorry, it should
re-roll
be
for.
3. Yeah, yeah, they lose one because of the sunlight. So go.
Okay,
You just need a reroll or a reserve point.
okay. You know what? I don't know if I can ask this or not. Um, just re-roll. No, but can I use a reserve too?
Yeah, yeah, you can always.
Okay.
I encourage you to blow through your reserves at a tremendous rate of knots. So yeah,
All right. So then, yeah. So 3 successes.
yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage, which is 3d6, no rerolls.
All right. So 6 + 5 + 2 is 13.
6, 5. So 2 successes because yeah, we just
Yeah.
used the.
Oh,
That
okay.
was
So we're
sorry.
just using
Yeah,
successes.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Got it.
okay, yeah, a similar wound to the trucker in the diner. So another. You stabbed 2 people today, and it's not even 6 p.m. So yeah, you get one of them, and he sort of makes a wee kind of noise as you, I don't know, like slice down an arm that's extended too far away from his body. He got sloppy, and the harvestmen look at each other like this could be a problem, especially with the sunlight. And they look at you, and they look back at Sway, that's the guy on the floor, and they look at the fire. Ambrose, what do you do?
Well, I just got shot, and I don't love that. But I do have a. I've established last time that I do have a small pistol that I keep with me, and my small pearl-handled pistol, and I take that out, and I will try to plug one of these guys.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your aim, I think is the stat.
Let's see here.
You need 2 successes for this.
I actually have a pretty good 4 dice on that. Okay. I got 3 successes.
Very nice. Go ahead and roll damage, which I think is gonna be. Let's see, tiny gun. No. Okay. Ooh, yeah. 4d6. Well, what's a pistolate? Yeah. Let's say 4d6. 1 reroll.
46.
It's tiny.
I got 2 hits and 3 hits.
Okay. Yeah, that's another like nasty wound on one of the harvestmen who staggers back and winces, and you see that they start to kind of flicker around, and they're moving away from the sunlight, and they just kind of decide en masse this is the time to get out. So they don't shoot you. They kind of hold their guns on you, like don't try anything funny. Like they don't say anything, but this is the message, and they make their way out of the room, which I'll remind you is still on fire, and that fire is approaching the man who is tied to a chair.
Probably grab that guy.
Grab that guy. So, but without the threat, I mean, obviously, maybe a couple of you have to kind of stand around on guard just in case, but you can drag him away. And I don't think you can put out the fire by yourselves now. It's got really serious. So the fire brigade are going to have to be called on that one. But you can at least drag Sway away. He's quite pleased that you saved his life. And let's see. Okay. Yeah, he's sort of like I say, sort of late 40s, a little bit tubby. The French one's unfortunately put down. He has, he's got cuts all over him. He's been tortured. There are little burns from where they kind of electrocuted him with the live wires from a lamp and so on. Yeah, he explains to you that the harvestmen showed up just before you did. Okay. And that wasn't him on the phone, right? That was them making you show up. And basically he just spills out. Normally he never tells you anything about the clients, and you'll have noticed that all the rooms, like, there's no one in the corridors because people just stay in their rooms here until they're leaving. But he knows what's up. He tells you that Fortune came here to see him, and he helped her. He explains, if you don't already know, that these harvestmen are the sons of the Black Widow. And so all of her children are boys except for one, Fortune. And she is expected to take the place of her mother when the time comes and lead the group. However, so this is the backstory. As improbable as it may seem, yeah, Fortune and the Goblin are in love, and the dwarf arranged to hide Fortune. Well, originally at the hotel, but that's not safe. So now she is staying with an old client of his, a guy named the Cyclops, who lives in a small town called Prince George in Canada. And if you want to find her, you should go there. Cut to, I don't know, an Air Canada flight. Well, what do you guys do next?
Well,
make sure Ambrose is patched up well.
Yeah, I was assuming a little bit of time has passed.
Yeah.
We are on an Air Canada flight. Well, now we really know this job is an imposition if we're being forced to go to Canada. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty far. It's a little town in the forest of British Columbia. Yeah, you can get back 1 health level, I think, Ambrose, between this period. Yeah.
Can I attempt to bring that up via first aid? Is that a thing?
Oh, I'm going to assume that you were helping out with that. Yeah. So,
when do reserves come back? Is that something renewable, or?
Yeah, you get them back by sleeping, one per night. So like when a lot of time passes, it'll be more than that. But I'm guessing probably I imagine you're in a hurry, so I'm guessing 1 night of fitful sleep and then on the plane. Does that sound fair? Like get one back for those who've spent it.
Okay.
And yeah, actually, to be honest, there's not much to do on the plane. So we could do cut to the plane, you guys doing in-character things, and then cut to the forests of British Columbia. Unless you want to have a little planning meeting in the on the way over on the flight.
Well, first part of the plan is to make sure that we are hiding the briefcase. I mean, I'm assuming it. Yeah. I mean, there's other people that are probably looking for this damn thing. Yeah. So
I mean, you can stick a briefcase inside a big duffel bag kind of thing, or one of those kit bags. So yeah, sure, that makes sense. Sorry, you said the first part. Is there a second part, or is that just the bit you wanted to mention?
No, I just want to make mention that's like we're trying to hide this thing, so we're not as obvious.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And let me see now. So
we could fast forward to Fortune.
Exactly. We'll fast forward to traveling through the forest in your rental car. Somebody give me a perceived roll, difficulty 2. And someone else give me a perceived roll, difficulty 3. Tell me which one you're doing. Okay, who did the 2?
Difficulty 3.
Oh, nice.
Okay, who succeeded at 2?
I did.
Rich? Okay. So as you drive through the forest, you see the shadows of men and women in the woods, but they suddenly disappear and wink out of existence, as if, like, while you're looking right at them, as if they were never there. And for the difficulty 3 one, did you get that?
Yeah.
Journey, when you've stopped the car for a while, just for a rest, and you kind of stretching your legs outside, you hear something whispering through the trees. It's a word repeated a few times. Semham for us. Furious note taking ensues.
Is it repeated?
A couple times. But then it just fades away on the wind, again, as if it was never there. You find this address. I mean, I say address, it's like drive down this road for a long time and then look for the house in the middle of nowhere. It's your classic kind of wilderness cabin. And as you pull up, you see it's not hard to tell who the Cyclops is. A large man wearing a checked shirt, chopping some wood, and with just the one eye. And when you pull up, he sees you and walks over. Doesn't seem afraid or anything. He's still got an axe in one hand, but he hails you. He asks you what you want.
Is Fortune here?
Fortune. Well, that depends who's asking. And he swings the axe up into his other hand, like getting it more ready.
We've got something for her from a friend.
Okay. And he walks over back, leading you towards the cabin. And seemingly alerted by hearing you guys talking outside. Yeah. She comes out of the cabin, exactly like you saw her in the memory. Fortune. Blonde hair down to just past the shoulder. She's in her late 20s, maybe. She's just like dressed comfortably for the weather. It's not that cold, actually. It's still summer, right? But, you know, like a sweater and jeans, that kind of thing. And you can see that her eyes are reddened and shadowed because she hasn't been sleeping well.
I open up the duffel a little bit to show her, here's the briefcase. The goblin said you'd know what to do.
She smiles as she says, what you assume must be the goblin's real name, Albert. And she takes it from you eagerly and kind of motions you inside. Says, thank you, thank you. And she takes a key that's around her neck. She puts the briefcase on the floor and opens the briefcase up. And inside is basically a deep, dark well that goes down into the ground. And there is a ladder there. And she says, can you give me like 5 minutes? And she starts to climb down the ladder out of sight. And you kind of sit around for a while and the Cyclops goes, so, you know, I never seen him myself since I moved up here, but the locals say the Bigfoot actually is real. What do you think?
We're looking at a Mary Poppins briefcase. Sure. Yeah. Let's go take some pictures later. It's great.
Yeah, that'll be good. Wonder if she's okay. And anyway, after a while, this kind of awkward conversation goes on, and Fortune climbs back up and out, and she looks like she's been crying. She says, yeah, he wants you to go down now.
Who?
You guys? But maybe Journey wants to wait up the top. He said, actually, no, mate, I think maybe not. But do you have to go now? Yes. Okay. We'll grayscale your character and have her hovering around in the background but not saying a lot for now. Sorry about that. I'm sure the rest will have plenty to tell you in the interim. Okay. Thanks.
I look forward to it. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Yeah, sorry, my timing wasn't quite, didn't quite get it done. But all right. Thanks. Take care. All right. So down the ladder.
Guess we're going down the ladder. Yeah.
No, who wants us to go down? Who is he?
Oh, Albert, he has something to tell you. Or show you?
Of course.
This is not the first time I've met a man named Albert crawling down a well. So just throw that out there.
Pretty sure it is. All right. Let's just get the visual reminder of the goblin back so you can really, really visualize this charming conversation. Okay. Yeah, you climb down and down and down. And there is a kind of subterranean gallery, which is serving as a bedroom with several beds in it and various bits of bric-a-brac and junk lying around. Newspapers that have been here for years, and the goblin sitting on one of the beds, just waiting. And he asks you to sit down, like the bed, one of the beds facing him. Says, "Right, I've got something important to tell you." And as he starts to speak, you experience a memory. You are humming the little tune that puts fear into your enemies. It's the little humming tune you always hum, you and your brothers, when you're coming to kill. You are in the middle of ruins somewhere in Eastern Europe around the end of the Second World War. The scene in front of you is a massacre. Your hands are bloody. And you see a little girl walking away from you down what's left of the street in this village or town. And then in another moment, you hear someone whispering in your ear fiercely, "Look!" You can't breathe. Your throat is being constricted. You're being suffocated by this man who is telling you to look. And he twists your face to look at his. His eyes are completely white. And he twists your head to look again at the dead bodies of your brothers who've had their throats slashed here in the same subterranean gallery. All of them are dead. He's kept you alive just to see and to be tormented. And he hums in your ear. So anyway, says the goblin, all my life, me and my brothers, we killed on command, men, women, children. I know that you're in my place now. I'm not looking for excuses. I'm not looking to justify anything. I was a stealer of souls. And I liked it. But after my brothers died, I wanted to find a way to escape. The ancients, they know that sooner or later, I'm going to try and get away. You don't get out of this except when you're dead, or if the ancients are. And I can't kill the ancients. I don't know who killed my brothers. Just that he left me in torment on purpose. I don't know what that purpose was. But the last thing I want you to do, treat it like a dead man's request, a dying man's request. Look after Fortune. Now, I need to teach you how to do something. And out of nowhere, he kind of turns around, and behind him on the bed is a plastic dummy. This is how you do the soul stealing ritual. Okay. One of you must take the knife that he holds out to you and slice the dummy's throat. That will be a force roll, difficulty 2.
I have 3 dice on force. So
go ahead and try. Yeah.
Oh, I was asking if somebody else wanted to do it.
Well.
I've only got 2, so
okay.
Nope.
I'll give it a shot. I got no successes.
Would you like to burn 2 reserves to just do it?
I think so. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. He sort of obsesses over like getting the right positions of your hands and so on. And when you slice through the neck, the mouth of the dummy flaps open and shut by itself. Then he tells you, you have to recite this word, ametheth, 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 7 times. So that was 3 times. Another one of you, give me a move roll. I'm going to say Arabella because she's good at that stuff. To reach inside the jaw of the dummy and pull out the object that's inside.
11366.
That's enough successes for sure. So once you've reached inside there, the goblin's still urging you like how to do this, how to reach and pluck the object, the egg-shaped object that you find inside. His voice has changed, it's gone husky and desperate. Finally, he tells you to take the kind of grey, rubbery egg that you brought out, and he gives you a knife. He says, each of you cut off a slice of this and eat it. Go on, do it.
Why not?
Okay. So, yeah, Ambrose, you eat it. Arabella?
Can I poke it and see what texture it has?
Just like a boiled egg, you know. Blah, blah, blah. Don't poke it. Just slice, very fine slice, as thin as you can. Too much will be too much.
I guess she'll do the thing I need it.
Rich?
Yeah, this is the least weird thing that I've done today, so sure.
You all feel a kind of as if the world bulges and twists around you in a way, and you realize that you have memories and knowledge as if you've always known and remembered these things that belong to the goblin. And he looks at you and says, the ancients were right. Nothing is eternal. Everything has an end. It's true for me. It's true for them. And it's true for you. And immediately you wake from this dreamlike state, and you see in front of you the body of the goblin on his blood-soaked bed, with his neck sliced open all the way back and his jaw broken open to take out the egg-like object that Rich is still holding in his hands. In the hands of the goblin is a glass jar, and in that jar is an old piece of paper that contains the recipe for the soul-stealing ritual, which mentions, incidentally, that if you want that soul to keep, you need to keep it in an airtight container. I will share that text with you just in a second. Obviously, I'll leave this for you guys to read during the rest of the week. And it remains only for you to clamber back up out of that briefcase, where you find Sway waiting with numerous of her brothers. And she tells you she has to go back home now. And I think we will end it there. Thank you.
Just to be clear, it was Fortune waiting, right? Not Sway.
Yeah. It's, sorry, Fortune. Thank you. All right. Good game, everyone.
Shall I stop the recording, or are we doing any
yeah,
debrief?
sure.
Okay.
I can stop recording.